You feel it there?
Yeah.
I can still feel it. Yeah, so.
That's the problem, Dad. Wherever he is, I gotta feel it. It's just he's always there.
So, topics.
Well, the board is full. We don't need to add. We just save those for next week or the second one we're gonna do.
Yeah. So, how does it feel to be the parent of the weird kid?
Yeah, well. Honestly, I'm still feeling it. I haven't got over it. So, yeah. Hey everybody, welcome to Body Steve Rugby People. It's your boy Big Daddy Dominic Alvarez. Of course, joining me, Mike. What had happened was Barrera. Thank you for that zinger, Mike. You're finally useful in this whole podcast series. Thank you, my friend. Today we have a very special guest. I know this man for literally my whole life. He's a very established oh my God. He's an established coach in the San Diego School District. He's been doing it, God, for how many years now? 30 years. Oh, so longer than I've been alive. That's how it shows you how devoted he is to sports and not his son. So, Big Jim, a.k.a. Coach Alvarez, my daddy. Woo! Thank
What's up,
you.
Dad? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Man, I think the main reason why we had you on the show, or have you on the show, is because a couple weekends ago, you were throwing stories left and right in the podcast room, and the podcast wasn't on. And we were just all having a really good time. Like, I don't know why. It was on his birthday or something like that. It was my kid's birthday, and we just all happened to just really
Something like that.
Yeah, a lot of beer was flowing. And, yeah, nothing important or anything. But
No, yes, it was a birthday party. But
Yes.
I was glad to be here, and those stories just come out pretty natural. But I just came over here because it's Monday night, and it's an excuse to drink. So, hey.
yeah.
Cheers to that.
I already finished mine. That sucks. Yeah, I'm a fast drinker. Yeah, but thank you for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
Right on, man. We were like, we had kind of a rough start. Mike didn't know what to say.
No, you know what? Listen, it was crazy because like only here recently that I started listening. I actually started listening. Not that I have to hear. I heard this guy all my life.
Yeah.
You know what? He has nothing to say that I want to hear. However, I will say this. I was
don't like
impressed.
this.
I was
I don't
very
like this.
impressed. Once you guys got going, I got to a point where, hey, when's the next one on? And I started listening. And I could tell you this, the difference between the first one and the last few episodes that you guys have done, is pretty goddamn good. And, honestly, and I can tell that we're real comfortable with the whole format and how you guys are laying it all out. And I was like, yeah, it was actually very entertaining, and I thought you guys are totally professional. So
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it sounded
God.
really good. But eventually, somebody will appreciate it and catch on and say, "Hey, you know
This is
what?
Dominic's
These guys know what they're
first moment
doing."
that-
I
his
know.
dad
I'm
complimented
I know. Trust me, man. My dad has been a coach for 30 years. Not once have I touched a football, a basketball. And the times I have, I was like, Dad, do I run? No, you dribble it, you dummy. And you know what? This is kind of a funny story. My dad, I would try out for flag football and basketball and stuff when I was real young. And it was kind of like a scouting thing because it was at the Lemon Grove Rec. So it wasn't like you just picked who you knew. You would scout these kids, and they would try out, okay, run a pattern and do this. So they would really kind of do it like the NFL, like the combine kind of, with kids. And it was cool. It actually was really cool.
Yeah.
2 years, my dad picked me. And I don't think that was out of skill. I think that was out of sympathy because no one else picked me up.
You were the last kid?
Oh my God, you have
He was
no
the last
idea.
kid.
Well, here's the real truth, Mike. Somebody had to pick him up from football practice. He might as well play with me. So the way I looked at it was like, yeah, I've got to go get him anyways. No, it's not true. Hey, listen, you know what? Listen,
I don't like
he
this,
was
Dad.
fine. It just wasn't, you know what? It wasn't, how should I say?
Athletic.
No, it had nothing to do with that.
To be in reality, I can play ball. I can run a ball. My dad knows I have the skills to. I don't think I've ever dropped a football
ever that was thrown my way, ever. Even in my adult career when we play at the beach or something like that, I never drop it. It's just, it was never my thing.
No, you know
I can
what?
run,
Listen,
I can run, I
here's
can
it's a
hit, I
funny
can do
thing
all
that
that.
you say that, because the truth of the matter is there are many guys, and you see this all the time during, like in the NBA or the NFL, stuff like that. If it's not your passion, if it's not your passion, listen, I don't care how talented you are, you're just not going to succeed.
See,
You
I
know,
was
it's like
talented.
some
That's what he's
guys,
saying.
there's some guys that went out, signed for millions of dollars, and don't give a fuck about it. It's not their priority, you know, and this is why they don't have a career. And you wonder, what's wrong with that guy? Truth of the matter is, it doesn't burn in their belly, you know, and so they don't give a fuck, you know.
And it's something
makes
you can't
sense.
teach either. I mean, you can pound it into them. You can tell them to run the yards. You can tell them to do the drills. And if they're just not into it, it's just not going to happen.
It's
what I
not going to
found
happen.
with-
And, you know, it has nothing to do with how you were being coached or anything like that.
Yeah.
Listen, if the kid is not excited about doing it, listen, he ain't going to do it.
That's like my
it's
daughter.
like a job,
she
you know.
plays baseball, and the coaches are like, "Man, she can hit, she can catch, she can pitch," but she just doesn't want to do it. She's like, "Daddy, I'm good on baseball. I want
Exactly.
to go do something else." And I'm like, "All right."
And
you know.
and there's kids, I see it all the time. And the truth of the matter is, and it used to bother me some, but it doesn't bother me anymore. But I watch young dads, and I watch all these guys that come out, and the dad wants it more for the kid than the kid.
Yeah, that was,
You know, and that's why you wonder. Even today, like I've got kids today that their dad wants it more for them
Yeah.
than they do.
and I see that.
And
all
you know,
the
and
time,
I can't.
dude,
I
that-
can try to
I-
push them, but you know what? They're not going to get any better because they don't want to be better.
exactly.
And
They
I
just
could,
don't want
I
to.
could attest to that because I wanted my kid to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu super bad. And she was into it. Like, she did it for 7 months faithfully, and she didn't complain. You know, she would do it, and I think she had a genuine good time. It's just I wanted her to get gold medals and do what I did, which really get passionate and, you know, get into it. She was good at it. She had this toughness that you can't teach, you know. She was just really tough. She never tapped. That was her thing. And I'm like, it's okay to tap. She was like, well, I didn't feel like I needed to tap. But I pushed her so hard that she just like, Dad, I don't want to do it no more. I'm like, Glad you're good at it. I don't want to do it anymore. You know, it's not me. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I took
Exactly.
it. So I really felt bad because, she enjoyed it. But I kept pushing for her to be good and not have fun, and I really missed the objective of what a parent should be. So yeah,
you
I
get
totally
a lot
dropped
of
the ball
parents
there.
out there that try to live through their kids.
Well, they always do. They always do. My
Not
I
this
always
guy.
say, listen. I always said
Not this
it was you know, when we have our like parent meetings and stuff like that, you know, and I always tell them, you know, there's only a couple things that I'm going to say to you guys, and you know, it's always about my baby. You know, my baby. How come my baby? Okay. The truth of the matter is, I always tell them. They say, well, you know, like they'll say, he just needs a chance. He needs an opportunity. I say, listen, his opportunity comes every fucking day. I wish I could say fucking, but I
yeah,
can't.
yeah. Every
It comes
freaking day.
every day in practice. That is his opportunity, and everybody. And matter of fact, every single one of us coaches is out there pushing him to take that opportunity. Your child sits in the back, doesn't want to be here. And
Is it hard to say that? Is it hard to tell
yes,
parents?
you
to
can't tell the
parents?
truth.
Yeah,
You cannot
yeah.
tell the
Well,
truth.
hold on. You can tell the truth. They just won't want to
No, I
hear
just
it.
wouldn't be the coach anymore.
exactly.
Wait, here's the real truth. Now, I've traveled. I'm well traveled, and I've traveled I've been in this area to coach, and I've been in this area to coach. And by the way, our boy here sitting over here has got not Marian Catholic, Mater Dei shorts on. I'm gonna kill him for that shit. You know what? Listen,
we have
Modern day, I was like,
yes,
we have Brant, the
that's
Broker Man
any better?
Edwards in the
That's
background.
the fucking same shit.
He saw
Hey,
cousin
hey,
Mike's
listen.
car. And he
So
doesn't go.
here was where I was going with this, though. You know, like I've coached at Morris and Mount Miguel and El Cajon Valley, which was like the armpit of San Diego football. And I've also coached, though, at Scripps Ranch and East Lake High School.
I got my diploma there.
Now, here's the difference. In the affluent areas, there's too much parent involvement. And then in the other areas, there's not enough involvement. So, you know, it doesn't matter. Now, both have pros and cons, because I'm not going to kill one or the other, because I've been in both places. And each one of them they have things that are really good and things that are really bad. Last year, I had a group of kids there was 25 kids in the entire program. Crazy. They turned their asses around and they were the defense. You know what I mean? So when you lost one kid went down, it was like losing two kids. And we just grinded ourselves down to, by the time we hit league, well, let me just say this. This is the great opportunity to be able to say this. We really pushed him hard. Everybody told me, what are you doing? Why are you going over there? You're crazy. And I said, yeah, I am. But if I consider myself a coach, this was my challenge. Mm-hmm. So I went over there. They were getting ready to disband football. They hadn't had a winning season in 10 years. They hadn't won a league game in something like 5 or 6 years. And the best they've ever done in any one season was 3 wins. And so, going over there, I knew it was a lot of work. But, you go over there and you do what you do, and we just rode, we rode them. We pushed them as hard as we could. We got the most out of them. First winning season, or I should say non-losing season in the school's history, and also pushed them to the playoffs. So we went 5-5. And and it was, and by the way, their first league win. We got their first league win in the last year.
Man.
So it can be done. It can be done. But the truth is, there was nowhere else to go but up. Yeah. And I know that. I'm not. I'm not going to sit here and tell. Oh, it was because of me and this. No, there was only one way to go. Yeah. So I figured anything I was going to do was going to be. Yeah. It was going to be an improvement. I'll say that.
See, like a friend of ours, he was doing MMA on a professional circuit. And, he didn't do so well. And just so happens, I gave him almost the same kind of pep talk. We were all out to dinner. And I said, dude, look, the worst 2 things already happened to you. There's literally nothing else like bad that can happen to you, because if it happens again, it just happens again. That's just a normal Monday. But if you get that win and you start to progress, you learn from your mistakes and you start to go up, there's nowhere else to go. You already had the 2 worst things happen to you. Now the only way to go is up. Because if you don't learn from that, well, then you shouldn't be there. And he was successful in his career, and I don't think he does it anymore. But I mean, he
kind of like starting out a podcast, right?
Yeah, man,
pretty much.
Trust me.
We crashed and burned a few times. That's why we practice.
Crashed and burned a few times. Jeez.
No, let me say
like
this. Listen, we
10 episodes before we.
We did 13 episodes before I even released.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been listening, and you know what? It's really gotten cool to a point where, God damn, that's pretty goddamn good. I want to say we started this conversation though with the different kind of kids that you coach, and this is what having 3 sons has taught me, because I, like you, Mike, I pushed real hard with the first one, and just to a point where I think, where I think it got to a point where he just, he was like, fuck this, it kind of like, he didn't want to do it, and I kind of let up with the second one. But what I learned about that is the second one, AJ just works his ass off in everything he does. Everything. Yeah. I mean, because this is how you correlate life and sports. AJ's a hard worker. Like, that dude just worked hard at everything and got good because he worked at it, which is, there's no substitute for work. There really isn't.
There isn't.
And then by the time when Dom got around, you know what? I left him alone and said, do what you want to do. And I learned this is what I feel made me, at least it woke me up into this whole fatherhood thing, was that he in turn opened my eyes to a different world that I didn't know about. Yeah. So I would say, it was all the dancing and all the Polynesian culture and the whole thing. It opened my eyes to see, hey, what the fuck is going on outside of that fucking football field? You know what I mean? And I absolutely enjoy it. And if there was anything, don't get me wrong, man, I love coaching and things like that. But the truth is, it's now the culture and this whole Polynesian thing is actually more influential on me than I can be. I don't know how I know how kids look at me and things like that in terms of a coach. But the truth is, all you're doing is teaching life anyways. Yeah. So, you know what? I learned something. Yeah. So, it was
there is a lot more. I mean, it's cool to be passionate about something, like your coaching, my dancing, jiu-jitsu, your dancing, your music. And, there is but like
once you get that spark of outside of the box kind of thing,
Absolutely.
and you're
Absolutely.
interested in it. I mean, we get sparked with things that are outside of our box every day, and we shut it down on the norm. We really do. Every single day, you see something, whether it's a color you don't like, a certain song you don't like, you get influenced. But then once it catches your interest, your box expands just a little bigger. And then because you go into that rabbit hole of an interest, and if you really are kind of interested, or if it just hits you that hard, you fall into it like Alice did. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You just
yeah.
go, and it's like, wow, this is insane. There's fucking people smoking. There's people doing this and that, and I'm okay with that. And that's when you just grow as a human being.
Here's why I'm going to shed some light on for both of you, and this is, I do want you to take it to the heart, and it's because this has happened to me recently.
I'm not drunk enough yet.
You guys have young kids, and they're very impressionable right now. Whatever it is they do, you know what? You have to show 100% support. And I don't care if they tied 2 rubber bands together and said that was their greatest accomplishment. Listen, you go crazy and say, that's the best shit I've ever
awesome.
seen. You know, and I'm telling you this, Mike, because I know your daughter. I know my grandkids. It's amazing what a little compliment or self-confidence will do for a person, and they will grow with that idea. Like, I know how these boys grew up, and I failed on that sometimes where I said, you know what, if I would have just said, hey, that's the best shit I've ever seen, you know what, who knows where they would have taken it. Promise me you guys have to do that. You have to do that.
Definitely.
Well,
And-
here's the thing a funny thing about watching our parents become a grandparent. You see that come out, and you see it happen in front of your eyes. And we kind of joke around about it. We go, "Where the fuck was all that when I was a kid?"
Yeah.
But now the impressionable kids are getting it from the person that's raising them, which is
Absolutely.
their loving grandparents, and we don't see that. We, as parents, we don't see that. We just think that is fake. That is not the person I grew up with. But now it's almost an atonement. You know what I mean? Like, you're not saying you raised us shitty or any parent raised anybody shitty or anything. It's just, here's how they turned out, which is good. But now I get to do it all over again. This is your do-over
Yes.
as a grandparent, because
Yes.
now
Yes.
I can do this. And then, well, grandma and grandpa said this. That's not the same person that raised me. They're liars. And and you get to laugh about it because it's true. It's like, here, look. This is what people always say in life. I want a do-over. If I had a do-over. If I had a do-over. With grandparents that are privileged enough to become a grandparent, they get the
That is-
do-over.
that is
They
their
have the
do-over.
privilege
Yeah.
of the do-over.
Well, yes and no, because I know if I was like, example, last night, 5 of them are there last night. Pretty much, they just had the run of the house. They just did whatever the fuck they want. They were up until 10, 11 o'clock, and I know they're not up that late normally.
Yeah, they are.
But, well, let me just say, they were all up running around,
Yeah.
and they're just tearing the house apart, which I don't give a fuck. You know what? Before, I would have had a fucking meltdown if Dominic would have had...
Jumped
If
on the
one
couch.
sock was out of the place, I would have fucking been in his ass. But... it's just funny. You can sit back, and I just watched it, and I just laughed about it, and I was like, fuck, whatever. I fell asleep before they did,
Yeah.
and I was on the couch asleep, and they're out running around. It was cool. It was like, why? Why am I? I'm not going to trip about that. So it was just, hey, it's fun to go over grandma's house. It's fun to go. Then good. Good. That's how it should be. That's how it should have been in the first place. I'm not going to restrict them and say, well, I don't want them to ever say, I don't want to go over there because this and that, Well, you know what? It's not my kids. That's what makes that real easy. So it's like, well, you know what? Let them do what they want to do, And I watch their creativity. I watch what they do. I watch their interactions. And you know what?
I
That's
like
what's
to-
helping them grow.
I like to embrace my daughter's, creativity. Like when she draws something, I am like, oh, that's awesome, baby.
You have to,
go
yeah.
draw me this, and I'll give her more stuff to do. And she's like, okay, and she's like really like she likes reading, and I embrace that. She's like at the top of her class in reading, and I'm like, that's good. Let's instead
Right.
of buying you toys,
Encourage
let's go.
it,
Let's
yeah.
go to Walden or the bookstore, Barnes and Nobles, and get you a book. And she's like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
And I embrace everything that she does, because I've been around parents, and I've been around, my parents that were like constantly like Like I would show them something, and they were kind of like not just get out of my face. They were like just too busy and just in their world of doing their thing. And I never got, or I didn't get as much as I wanted, from them. And I've seen that with nephews. Like nephews are their parents are just.
You know what? Maybe that's just something you're observing. But I would say this too. Like when I was a kid, you don't. Like my mom didn't even have a driver's license. We didn't even own a car. And there was no dad in the picture. I'm not saying that to make anybody feel bad. I'm really not, because here's
the
my
norm nowadays.
Here's my point about that. I just thought everybody else was the same. Like I didn't know. You don't know what your you don't know what your level of poverty is. You don't know that shit. I just thought everybody was the same. I thought everybody walked to school. I thought everybody who walked to store with their mother. Just how I thought shit was.
It was a Monday.
Exactly. It was another day, and I didn't even know the difference, And it's not until I became an adult where I go, fuck, Yeah. And now my kids didn't even know how to take no fucking public transportation. I go, you guys are fucking spoiled. Yeah. Listen,
but hold on though. Even when I was in kindergarten, I walked to school.
Well, that's true.
With
this is
just
true.
My older brother,
This
and
is true.
he was in second grade,
Hell
third
yeah,
grade, and we were walking.
You know
what?
Now, we had
It's
it was
funny,
like a
but-
pack of
Middle
wolves.
school.
We were bringing that up
Yeah.
the other day, and we said for probably I don't know, up until about
I would say
fifth,
first
sixth grade. No, for Jimmy and
Oh.
because he went to Audubon all the way up to about sixth grade, fifth
Something
grade.
like that.
They were walking to school from
Yeah.
our
No
house.
supervision,
yeah.
and it wasn't it wasn't around the corner. No.
I
This was
walking
maybe a
from
mile or
Paradise-
two.
Paradise Valley Road,
Yeah.
all the way to freaking Morris High, like that from elementary all the way
Yeah.
up to high school. I was walking,
Yeah.
and until I got with good friends that their parents actually took them, and then they I started getting rides. But we walked from Morris down to Woodman.
Yeah, we were like,
just,
fuck this.
you know,
My fucking hiking boots can't take this. No, I mean, different times though, and being parents, there is no manual. I really hate to sound cliche, but fuck, you can prep all you want. You can read all the books, but the minute you blow your load into your wife and your wife says, "Hey, I'm pregnant," you lose your shit. You go, "I'm not fucking ready for this." But you read the books, but she's crying right now and she wants a peanut butter sandwich, and it's 3 a.m. Nothing prepares you for that. Nothing prepares you for when the kid's just wilding out for no reason.
Well, the reason there's no manual is because what's moral to me is not moral to Mike, and what's moral to Mike is not moral to you.
Nothing's moral to
You
Mike.
yeah, exactly.
Let me tell you
I was like,
something
yeah,
about this
exactly.
dude.
No,
Wait a minute. Wait, this is Dom talking, right? Yeah, right.
Hold on.
Okay. yeah.
Look, I took a lot of what you and Mom did for me and just how I am. And it was funny. Let me just backtrack for a second. We were at a good friend of ours, Rich motherfucking Duenas, been on the show millions of times, and Dad was over at his house, and he was watching Rich's kids kind of do their thing. And him and Rich were talking, and I just happened to roll up. And my dad, I just caught him saying, like, look, you have to get on his level, his mentality level. You have to get on his level, or else you'll never understand him. And he said, that's what I had to do with Dominic. Because he just wasn't, he just didn't take to a ball. He just didn't throw it. He didn't shoot it. He didn't kick it. He didn't do any of those things. So I had to get on a different level, which allowed him to go, you know what, son? Be you. Just be you, and we'll just kind of do this. I'll be right behind you. Just be you.
You know what though? But it wasn't because you couldn't.
I didn't
You
want to.
just didn't want to, right? Exactly.
I mean,
like
again-
it was never a
Same
question
Dominic.
of but it
Same
wasn't. It wasn't your thing, and that actually, I'm not saying it hurt me or made me feel bad,
It did.
but it was no. It was hard for me to understand though. I thought the shit comes natural. I just thought that's what but you know what? It helped me. What you have to remember is that I was still in my early 20s trying to raise you guys. I was a fucking kid myself. So I was having to learn all that shit. So I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't know any better, or there was nobody around to say, "Hey, this is how you father." You just went with whatever you knew. So that took me a while. It took me a while to understand that kind of mentality, and I was like, not that it was bad or good, it was indifferent. It didn't matter, but I had to expand myself. It was on me. It was on me.
That's
all
really
me.
hard to do. That's super hard to do as someone that has a routine, that has those things in their life that finally, when you start to get comfortable, you're like, oh, okay, 5 a.m. I'm up, 6 a.m. I'm out of the house. 7 o'clock kids are at school, and so on and so forth. But when you go, you know what, something needs to change, something needs to be different, and you force yourself to do that, man, is that a mind fuck, and it's so uncomfortable. Super uncomfortable, but the people that better themselves do it, and they do it all the time.
Exactly, and that you're right on the money. You have to want to be better or get better or change. You have to want to do that because there's people out there. You know what? I'm me, and I'm never going to change. Well, you know what? Then you're putting yourself in a box.
Yeah.
You're in
Yeah.
a very small because the guy who's smart is the guy that humbles himself. Allows everything in. Hey, take note from there. Take notes from here. And expand your mind because there are many, many ways to do this shit. There are many ways to do life, and you're an idiot if you think the only way to do it is the way you're doing it currently.
Yeah.
I got news
real,
for
man.
you. And I'm telling you this because I'm here right now tonight because I've reached a point in my life where now suddenly sports is not my number one priority. I do it because it's a hobby for me. Like I can walk away right now. I'm already comfortable. I accomplished whatever I've accomplished. Right now, my priority, I love playing my uke, sitting there, drinking a beer, creating songs, writing songs, listening to music. That's my thing now. That's my second life. I love going out to the beach. I love boarding. I've never done that shit when I was young. Never touched that shit. And you know what? Now this second life is more important to me than any coaching I can
You
do
gotta
right
take
now.
notes from your dad, man. You need
Hold
to step
on.
out your comfortable
hold on.
box.
If you
and-
honest in real shit, yes I do, but I am the product of this man. You have to understand, I'm teaching my kids in the same way we were just talking. I go, hey, be you. And that was the first thing.
No, but I'm not
that-
talking about raising your kid wise. I'm talking about you being so comfortable
I'm good.
in your way.
No, I'm good.
See,
I'm good.
see,
Look,
that's
look,
what I'm saying.
dude, look at
It's
my
like,
face.
he's good
Look
with
at the
video
hairdo.
games.
Look at the goatee. Immaculate.
Your dad is out there boarding, going to the beach, getting sun.
Okay.
And you don't
gonna
even want to step
fucking
out
lay
this
in here.
room.
No, look, I hate the beach and I hate you. So that's
See?
why I separate myself.
Step out the box
To
and
the-
love me.
No.
Love me.
No.
but
no, it's called.
true.
See, people don't want to change, and people don't change.
Well, because he makes a good point because I was in that box. I was like, I'm gonna do music, I'm gonna chill. I mean, I used to smoke. I don't smoke anymore, but I'm gonna do my thing.
No
Like,
wonder
and it
you
was
fucking
like,
suck. Maybe you should
But,
start again.
like I was like in that box, but like now, like I met somebody new. She's like, hey, let's go hike. Let's go, do stuff that I'm not really, like you said. And you gave me the exact words, step out your comfort zone.
Yeah, I did.
Step
Yes.
out
Yes.
of it.
And you used it
and
against
I
me. I'm
did.
like, oh.
And I
Well,
did. And I
here's
was
the-
like, I freaking love kayaking,
Yeah.
dude. I want to go.
It's called
kayaking.
evolution.
Absolutely.
Not change.
But
You're still
it's,
you,
it's
but
not
you
that,
evolve.
Mike, because you can try this shit. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But you know what? If you'll never know if you like it or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like there's just a
Yeah.
whole nother
That's why you
world
gotta
out
go
there.
disc golfing
Yeah.
with me, man.
I said I'd go. How many episodes we did? I said I'd fucking go. Shit. But no, yeah, oh man, evolution. Evolution
Yeah,
is
man,
very. And I'm not talking about we came from monkeys and stuff. Here in your inner temple.
Evolution
here.
as a person. as a
Yeah,
being.
like I did go hiking. I tried it. I did not like it. I don't like roller coasters. However, I said I don't like roller coasters after I tried 6 of them. 6 different. I was 2
Okay,
of them
that's
with
fair.
you.
That's fair.
I
Oh, yeah,
don't
yeah,
like
fair.
them.
Yeah.
Like getting hit in the face, doing MMA. I love doing that. People will call me crazy. Why do you need to get hit in the face? Why do you need to be choked? Why do you? I'm like it takes me to that place. It takes me to that place where I'm like I'm not in control, but I'm in control, and I get uncomfortable, and I want to be there because I learn uncomfortably. When you're uncomfortable is a time to find yourself, a time to discover where and who you are to get comfortable. Does that make sense? And that's what we should be as a human being, as a species. But people don't want to do that because the cubicle is the 9 to 5, because of you can't. Because yes, you could, but you need to do this first.
Yeah, like just all the excuses. Oh, I gotta work.
You know what? That's exactly right. It's all excuses. And you know what? You can sit there and come up with shit all day long. You know what? But it is excuses.
That's bullshit. That's
King.
No,
bullshit.
no, no, no.
the
I'm
fucking
just saying.
excuses
I'm
here,
saying
man.
we all
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
We all do it, and you can come up with shit. Anytime you don't want to do something, listen. Trust me, I can come up with a dozen reasons why I ain't gonna do it.
Off the top of
Yeah,
your
yeah,
head.
I'll tell
right
you
now.
straight up, I
They're
don't
like
fucking
they're
do
in
that
my
shit.
bank. But you know, you just sometimes I think about it and I think like, you know, fuck, I want to get the most out of one day. Like I was sitting at home right now when you text me. Well, mom was going walking, and I'm gonna be sitting at home. There ain't no fucking NBA game on, you know. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, fuck it, I'm going. Long
Yeah,
as
you
there's-
said,
like,
I'm not
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
And I was like,
Like,
all right,
And
whatever.
he was like, my dad's probably gonna come. And I was
Yeah, I
like,
said,
is he gonna come or not? But,
Although I could use more beer, but
Yeah, dude, we, all right, well, let's pause real quick. I mean, I only got the watermelon margaritas. Is that cool with you? Yeah. Evolution. I'm gonna edit it from there. So
evolve it from there.
I don't think that's right. I think I had it right.
Whatever.
See, you're a great contrast. You're my yin to the yang, except for you're a bitch.
I'm the yang.
You're definitely a yang. You're a small yang. That's what you are to my big yin. You're the worst. Hey, everybody, welcome back. We had to take a short little break, if you couldn't tell by our smooth, whatchamacallit, whatever you call it.
yeah, great segue.
Yeah, well, it's not a segue. We just
Yeah.
came back a little more inebriated because we were parched, and it's very hot summertime, San Diego. Yeah, so Mike, go.
No, I just like your setup. I mean, like you got your book and your uke.
Yeah.
So
So
I really
we
want to play. I really
Yeah,
wanna learn how
so
to
so
play.
my dad
Let-
brought his ukulele and his book of music / lyrics / things he wants to work on, we were speaking about Dad has started to move on with his life from coaching and stuff, and he found a new passion, which is music.
pretty
So-
much evolution of.
Well,
as
here's
a
the real
person.
truth. Music has always been a part of my life, but it's always been sitting in the background because Dominic will tell you that I used to DJ way back.
So here's
in
a
the
side
days.
note. Here's
Yeah.
a side note.
Gangsta.
Yeah.
My dad actually bought this huge, like 32-gallon Tupperware at the time of vinyl, and he said, "I hate my children, and I don't want them to have anything," and he gave it away. So he
Whoa,
had
whoa,
the
whoa, whoa.
original
Let-
Thriller in
yes.
vinyl. He had Rick James in vinyl. He actually you
All
had
true.
you had,
All
you
true,
had
but, there
Al
is
Green.
one-
You had Al Green in vinyl
With one
I got
exception.
none of that shit, and that's how much he loves me.
With one exception, I didn't give it away. I sold the shit.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I made some money.
Yeah.
Okay,
$3.
and I did
$3 at
sell.
the
I had
time.
3.
You don't care about music like that.
No,
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 no.
you don't
You know,
understand.
but listen, in
I still
hindsight-
bump that music. I still bump Al Green, Michael Jackson, and all that shit.
I haven't heard it at
Probably-
all.
No, not with you because you
I
make
would
fun
have
of
to
me.
say that was probably one. I had old Elvis records. I had
See,
The
if
golden,
you-
the
if you-
golden Elvis record.
Old-
If you played
the
that,
golden one.
that
Yes.
classic music, I would probably never make fun of you.
Oh,
I had
okay.
a
Well, shit,
ton of
I play it all the
Motown
time.
records. I had
Katy
a,
Perry is the song child of our
You know,
time.
I did have all the Michael Jackson, all of Madonna, everything
See?
Madonna.
See, I mean-
You know, just stuff that was going on in
Yeah.
the 80s and
The popular
90s.
stuff.
Dude, he had
You know how much money
great
that would be
albums.
right now? though?
Well, right now, yeah, but at the
Well, the
time, I did
$20
sell
a
it for
line?
some good money.
Oh,
I
okay,
did
yeah.
because DJ had made a comeback for a little while where they were actually using vinyl.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the hipsters
Now-
are still
And this is
using
when
vinyl.
CDs were out. When CDs were first started, there still was a demand for vinyl.
Yeah.
And so,
Because it was still hard to.
a
like,
guy that I
mix.
knew was doing. He was actually teaching at a college, and he was doing a class for DJing with real vinyl, and he was teaching all these people how to scratch records and do all this other stuff. So he needed all this vinyl, and so I ended up selling my collection to him, and then of course my sons introduced me to all these MP3s and all that and that. So I pretty much have everything backed up, but you know I can tell you off the top of my head when you come off something in the 80s, something in the 90s, I could tell you pretty much, what it was or what it is or who played it or who
Tell you,
sang it,
You showed me my first DJ Quick and Sugar Free song. I was like, yeah, buddy.
My dad used to take Mike home.
Well, here,
From high
here's
school.
here's a really when that movie Straight Outta Compton came out.
Yeah.
Okay, what people don't understand is like what they were saying about West Coast, West Coast rap and East Coast rap. West Coast rap was all nothing but a bunch of old school like Roger and Zapp, and it was a lot of George Clinton and Parliament and all that. These were all like 70s, 80s stuff, you know. And what they did was they just put rap to it, you know.
Yeah.
But everything has been covered, man. Everything has
dude.
been covered.
It's-
Even today, everything is
History's
being
repeating
covered.
Itself.
Yeah.
It's just taking the old stuff and like putting a little new twist to it. And I mean, now they got that
especially
bullshit
with
on
like
the radio,
clothes and stuff like that. I mean, you probably seen it in your day when women wore the waist.
And they've made their way
And
back.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're-
No,
I mean,
no.
Well,
they
wait a
suck
minute.
That
back
shit
then.
should burn in hell. Take that shit. I want to see a belly. I don't give a shit if it's
It's
a
a-
muffin top. I don't want to see that. Ah!
There you go.
Because you know what?
Some shit
Their
ain't for
underwear
everybody.
is all the way up there.
Yeah.
That's why.
Oh, no, I agree with you, but you know what? Just wait a few years; it'll be back down, right? I mean,
yeah,
it
it
all
just-
cycles
just
back.
keeps going.
Everything. That's
Watch,
why I wish I
bell
would have hung
bottoms
on
is
to
gonna come
shit.
back soon.
Oh, dude, no,
I
bell
mean,
bottoms happened in
no,
our time.
But that's what I'm
in
saying.
in the
They-
early
they
2000s.
were back then. They came back. They're gonna. Be
Well,
back.
hey, listen to
They're
this.
gonna be
Think
back.
about this. I'm out going in. I got my first pair of skinny jeans just like 2 months ago.
Oh shit!
Yeah, how crazy is that? I'm
Yeah,
like,
dude. I
first
heard-
of all, when you guys were in school, you probably got teased about having anything
yeah,
that
tight
was
clothes. I was
tight
like-
clothes. Yeah.
Again,
I
those
think-
are
And now-
normal.
He's
Yeah.
good at
Well, no,
like,
everything
hey,
was baggy on me because my brother that ends up being 6 foot and the other one that ends up being 200 pounds, that'll totally fit my 5'5".
Except outside of Dominic. You're right, Dominic. You're right. Everything was handed down.
I thought I was the
But-
shit because I had
Yeah.
saggy
for real.
shit.
I
It was
used to
baggy.
look at people like with tight clothes, and I'm like, man, that dude's like borderline.
We tapped
gay.
into
But
it.
here's the
Now,
difference,
but
though,
now
Mike.
it's not
I got
fun.
my first.
I
two pairs of
went.
joggers.
Yeah, we can't
Yeah,
talk over
I
each
went
other.
to
We can't
go-
talk over each other.
And I went to the store. I went to Macy's. This is where I was going to find. And it was like, yeah, you want to find some like real Levi's, like 501 Levi's or whatever. I said, okay. So I go and I got sticker shock because I had no idea that Levi's are $70 a
Yeah.
pair.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck
Yeah, that's
that.
why I'm like. That's why Mario's is where I'm going.
Are you kidding me?
No, you know
Like,
what? I
I've
can't
been-
go to Mario's
listen.
because I don't like solid colored jeans. But yeah,
I've never paid that amount
Oh,
of
they
money
upgraded.
for a pair.
Oh,
Fuck, I still
nice.
refuse to buy any tennis shoes that's
Yeah,
over $100.
swap meet
I still
is
refuse
where
to
I'm
do
at.
it.
shit, you Mr. Rich.
Yeah.
I don't buy tennis shoes over 50. I'm like, fuck that. I've been buying
No,
the
I
same
mean-
tennis shoes for at least 4 years in a row because they're like 50,
They're
40
like,
bucks.
we got to keep these in. Our only customer is Dominic.
Make me happy.
No,
Keeping
it
you
was just
alive.
crazy. So of course I went and got knockoffs because I'm like, I am not paying $70 for a pair of jeans. So I went to Walmart and
Yeah.
find
I
some
get my shit
skinny
at
straight
Walmart,
jeans.
yeah.
Yeah, fuck
Walmart
yeah,
is
yeah,
the
yeah.
place to
That's
go.
fine.
That's where I buy all my stuff. My button ups and my ties and stuff. Walmart.
Your hairdo.
No, but it was only what? It's only 5-6 years ago. Okay, 10 years ago. It's only 10 years ago that you wouldn't be caught in anything that was tight,
Well,
right?
Yeah.
Right. So
Well, Kalen was like, "Yeah, bro, this is a style, bro."
Okay, Caden's an exception, but
I think
I'm
he was
saying-
ahead of his time. But
well,
yeah.
I mean, he's like our parent.
yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
yeah, like
But yeah, no. I mean,
Aggie
Mike
was the
still
place to
wears
be.
those shorts that go down to his ankles. Sorry.
you gonna buy me new shorts? You gonna buy me new shorts?
No,
That's why
no.
I didn't give you
No,
yours back.
I don't buy you shit because you just borrow it from me and say it's yours. Fuck you. But no. So history does repeat itself.
yes, it does. It
With
definitely
everything,
does.
and that's kind of scary with the upcoming elections. You know, there was a time where you didn't want to vote back in the day. I mean, when Calvin Coolidge was like, "Yeah, fuck that dude," and all of a sudden Calvin Coolidge wins, right, against anywho.
No. Listen, you bring up a good point though, and here's what I would say in today's.
He had a paper
in-
about
in-
it, you know, and he
No, and you guys, I would say in your how should I say in your times,
Generation.
yeah, your generation. Thank you, Mike. Wow. See, because of the internet, because of the social media, because of everything, people are more aware of what the issues are. They're more aware of. When I was a young guy, listen, I didn't give a fuck. You know what? You just, that sounds good. Okay, well, let's vote for
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
You know that's kind of pretty much how you did it. You know, like, oh, he seems like a nice guy. He's cool. Okay, vote for that guy. But see, nowadays you can't. Listen, you'd have to be hiding under a rock, not knowing what the issues are.
Right.
You know everything. You know everybody's dirt.
Yeah.
Like here. This is great, and I love this topic because they talk about Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Do you realize that Bill Clinton?
Was a gangster.
That is the most. I will say this about Bill Clinton. This is why I love Bill Clinton. Because he was the most real
Gangster.
human being that all of us could relate to. He had flaws, but not flaws, not in my eyes, but he had those flaws that the rest of America go like, yeah, he's G. He's a fucking
Who
G.
doesn't want to
yeah.
stick a badass
Because,
cigar
listen,
up a butt
who,
and
yeah,
smoke it?
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Mike,
who am
bend
I?
over. I got a cigar right now.
Who am I to judge this man? Right? Because I know what goes on behind my closed doors.
like,
You know, like
Hey!
that's my mother you're talking about.
Don't talk to
I don't give a fuck about her. It's just hey.
He doesn't get
So,
it like that. That's why.
This is what I'm saying about Bill.
That's the mother of my children. I will not stick a cigar up there. I have to stick my dick up there one time. Jesus.
So,
He has it in a
point, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Calvin
Point
Coolidge,
well
man. I
taken.
started with
And
Calvin
so,
Coolidge.
But listen, if you look in history, okay, and you look up JFK, which was a beloved man, like president.
Another gangster
like
ass
a
president.
gangster president that everybody loved. All of America loved JFK, okay? That dude, you talk to his Secret Service men, the Marines, and all that stuff. That dude had bitches in and out of the White House
what
like
I'm
it
And
was
his
the thing
main
to
bitch
do.
as much as
And
people
there's
say
right
no.
so
in
many
front of
people-
Jackie.
And
She
there's
didn't,
so
he
many
didn't
people
give a
that walk
fuck.
around like their shit don't stay.
Yeah,
It's like, come
it's
on.
like, dude, come on now. JFK,
up,
listen.
bro.
You know, I heard something real eerie the other day, and they said, you know, I was looking up this one website where they say famous last words. Do you know what JFK's last words were?
Please tell me.
Okay, a dude that was sitting there in the car when they're driving down through Dallas
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff, right there through. Like there was a guy that asked him, "Hey, so how's your visit been so far?" And he goes, "Dallas is wonderful. They're treating me great." And not a second later is when that dude got shot.
Oh, shit.
That's eerie as fuck.
Yeah.
dude.
Talk about crazy, you know, and I'm like, wow. Anyways, that's a side note
Yeah.
to that. Because JFK was a beloved president. And you know what? That dude was doing his dirt. This is why I love Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Because you know
He
why?
did it in front of
Yeah,
us.
Hey, he did it in front of America. But listen, who's to say what George Bush does? Who's to say what George
That's
George
what
Bush
Senior
ain't doing
does?
shit.
Who's
Now with that
there,
face.
like, you got to be like married. You have to, you know, you just got these requirements to be in the public eye, and it's like that's bullshit because that's not the real shit that happens in.
Well,
you know.
as like Cedric said, that dude is like, well, he's almost black, so
Yeah,
that's Bill. Bill was
Yeah.
a G.
Yeah.
You know, like I
mean,
just
it-
everybody could relate to that dude
Well,
because he
listen.
was human.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and that's the thing, like with people in power and stuff, and like your heroes and the people you watch in baseball, basketball, MMA, whatever you admire, whatever thing you admire, you go, you put these people on a tier, and you go, holy shit, these guys are perfect because you enjoy what they do. And all of a sudden, they have a little bit of dirt on them, and people try to bring them down from the clouds. And you go, no. My guy wouldn't do that. But in reality, it's like, he's a fucking dude. Or she's a chick. She has a, you know what? And he wants to do this to that. And you know what I mean? It's like these people.
Well,
See,
have
I wouldn't be that guy that's like, oh, he wouldn't do that. I'd be like, so.
Well, you're,
Like,
yeah.
so
That,
what?
well, you're a well-grounded, because you've had a lot of things happen to you to keep you grounded. You know what I mean? So you hold people for what they are. He's a great
Well,
athlete, he's
listen,
a
we
great
all
musician.
fear what we don't know. And this is what I would say about
Aliens.
a woman that is trying to become president, because I'm not going to give my opinion about Donald Trump. He scares me, quite honestly.
He's an asshole.
But I would say this about when there's going to be a woman president, and while the possibility is very real. But this is all I give a shit about. Are you going to make conscious decisions with our country? That's all I care about. I don't care how you go about doing it. I don't care what your programs are. That shit doesn't bother
don't
me.
want the time of the month to
you
interact
know,
with
listen.
that shit.
But here's the real
Chris
truth,
Rock had
though,
a great
because
joke about
if you
that.
think about it, here, I'll give you something to think about here for a second. Guys who will be guys. Listen, we've all had sword fights with our dicks. Whose cock is bigger? This is men who run shit. Okay, but
Yeah, you
with the
lost one.
women,
You
you know,
lost the fight.
and I know it sounds like I'm advocating a woman, but all I'm saying is I'm not I'm not gonna sit here and judge her because of her gender. I think sometimes they actually do sit down and think shit through because they're under pressure to make a better decision than some man would. Yeah. So I honestly believe she sits back and
so this is her, not women. Her as a president, she'll be like, okay, I'm under the microscope here,
absolutely,
because I'm a woman,
absolutely,
and I'm the potential president,
right? And so that's why it makes me feel like, okay, I wouldn't. It doesn't bother me if she became the president, not at all, not one single second, long as she's making great decisions for this country. Now, ask me how I feel if Donald Trump was running this country. I'm a little bit scared. I ain't gonna lie.
Let's not get
I'm
too
a little
political.
Bit scared.
Let's not get super political into it. But our opinion's our opinion.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm with you. I don't necessarily agree with the Hillary thing, but anywho,
like everybody else dropped out. So I mean, who else is there?
Man,
so that's just my spin. That's just my spin.
No, I get
on
it. Let's just go a year without one. Let's just go a year, just 1 year. See how it works. My opinion. Anywho. So yeah. So we Mike. Good thing you're here.
But yeah, man,
it's starting to get weird. You have to do your thing.
You're weird. It's like I said, how does it feel to be the parent of a weird kid? Because he brought this up. He texted me and he was like being the parent of the weird kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, so is Anu Hair weird? I mean,
like, no. It's just I just noticed something over the past couple weeks, and I go, wow, okay. Like, there's weird children in the world that do their thing, and that's not quote unquote normal.
Well, I think the only thing I can say is that if you're the parent of you think somebody is weird, you don't know it. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Because at being a parent, listen, you're gonna love them all. You're gonna treat them all the same. And as a matter of fact, I want you to think about something. Let's say someone who is the parent of some kid who did some way out shit. Okay, you're almost in denial of that shit. Like, no,
yes,
but because what do they say every time? What do they say, Mike? Every time you look at the news and somebody says, the kid got shot or he shot somebody, but he's a good kid. But he's a good kid. He doesn't do shit. They all fucking say that.
That got shot.
You can't speak over each other.
No. But yeah, the kid that just got shot. Entering a house, about to rob the place. He gets shot, killed, and he was just trying to make his money. He was just trying to, survive because, he needs to pay his... Get a fucking job. Get a fucking 9 to 5 like a normal person.
I didn't hear about this.
You know what I'm saying?
It
was.
Well, here's the point,
Facebook
though.
reels,
Listen, I get that you're gonna say some shit like that because you know what? This is why I say you're in so much denial. Okay, you're gonna think of anything to put a different spin on the whole situation. Yeah. But here's the real truth. That doesn't excuse you from going into somebody else's pad.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Hold on, Dad. Hold on,
Yeah.
Dad. If I were to fucking pop some shit off, you would be like, well, he's a good kid to me?
Don't we all say that? I mean, that's what everybody says.
I think my dad would be like, well, that's Dominic.
Well, no, but you're talking to us. I'd be like, fucking Dominic.
I think that's what everybody... I think that's expected, though.
No, stop.
If I did something irrational, I think that's very... something that I would do.
We are on the same level.
Here's the real truth. The real truth is we would all be in disbelief.
Yeah.
Okay, we'd all be in disbelief. And we'd
go,
popped off no. It's like, hey, we all know we joke about shit, but I can't believe he did that shit.
You actually did that shit.
Okay, because that's the first reaction. The other reactions that you're looking for comes later. Like after everybody says, hey, I cannot believe this dude fucking did that shit. Later on, aren't we all in some secret circle when we're just amongst friends and go like, come to think of it, this motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly.
That circle will happen 5 minutes after you guys found out.
Okay, but nonetheless, that's
5 minutes.
We'd all be like,
5 minutes. Rich. You guys would be like, who's gonna speak?
That's not really.
Yeah.
That's not really out of Dominic's
character. But we're all thinking it, and we're all going like looking at each other like, that's some shit he would
that's
do,
what I'm saying though. Like you hear about these crazy things happening that I never in a million years want to be anywhere near. I don't want anybody I love or even know near any of these things, right? But these bad, terrible things happen, and the people have the audacity to go,
not my child, not my friend, and then 5 minutes later go, hey, dude, is anybody gonna go to the funeral? Because
Okay.
that is terrible.
And I know that we don't talk about like. I mean, I've been listening to the show, and I love the topic, and I love the everyday shit. That's why I love the show.
Yeah. See,
But
thank you.
and
Damn
I could go off and say, okay, let's just example the Orlando
Okay.
thing, right? But let's just talk. Let me just for a second, and
Sure.
then we
No,
can
yeah.
end it. We can end it.
No,
But
it's fine.
what I'm saying is,
fine.
just give me the eyeballs.
Speak your mind.
But here, the Orlando thing goes off, and yet the wife, okay, she
had a
knows
wife?
he was buying all kinds of ammo. She knows that he was talking about shooting up a place. Okay, she knows that he's got all these fucking assault weapons. Okay, and you're gonna act like I can't believe he did that shit.
Yeah, it's like
what the fuck? I'm
he
like,
was just getting ready for the zombie
what
apocalypse.
were you getting ready
That's what he was
for?
doing. That
You
was
know,
what he's doing.
I'm like, yes, you should be charged with that shit for
Yeah,
not
like-
saying
like-
some shit.
Guilty by association.
But listen,
Fuck that shit.
Like
I-
Chris
I-
Rock,
I don't know.
but
Hold
like
on.
Chris Rock said, and OJ. But I understand.
What the fuck?
I understand, brother.
I mean, okay, I don't want to get political here. I'll tell you guys how I feel about that off the air. It's a travesty, a tragedy,
Yes, it
and
is.
I never
It-
want
it-
that to happen
and
to
it
anybody
is.
I know.
And I don't.
And
And
know
our,
what,
and
Dom,
our
I wanna
thoughts
s-
and we
I want to say that I don't mean to
Yeah,
make
yeah.
light of it. I'm really not trying to make light of that.
No,
I'm really
dude,
not.
that sucked.
But what I'm
That
saying,
sucked.
here's my point. My point is there was somebody else who knew what this guy's intentions were. But you know what? Because it's our loved ones, you're kind of in denial a little bit. Like, no, he would never do some
It's
shit
either
like that.
denial or just plain out trying to like take the heat off of that person. Like, oh no.
Yeah. Because you know why?
You know,
Because
'cause
you're
that's
listen.
your
it-
person.
Nah, my parents.
Dude,
my
but-
parents
dude,
said if you ever go
but
to
if-
jail, you better
if
fucking
you-
be comfy because I'd never
Mm-hmm.
get your ass out of
But
there.
I'm saying, if you were like Mike, I'm gonna go ham on this group of people because this, and you did it, I'd be like, that's my dog. That's my
Damn.
boy.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Sorry.
I applaud that. I
You know what
applaud
I'm saying?
that.
That's
I'm
my boy.
sorry. It's
I
just
don't
that's
know.
my. Hey, Mike, I need to do some work. Hey.
Like, for real, it's like
I got.
joke.
I got
It's a
nothing.
joke. It's a joke.
Me and him
It's
are
a
pussies. We
joke.
won't even
Yeah.
do that.
Me- Trust me,
shoot
someone
him with
looked
a
at
BB
Mike
gun.
totally funky. I walked away and said, "You're on your own."
Dominic straight said back in the day, if we were walking and a dog was chasing us, he'd trip me and run the fuck off. I'm like, you bastard. You bastard.
I get that one.
I'm the host of the show, and the show must go on.
Fuck this show if I'm dead.
Fuck your leg.
So the next podcast is from the hospital. Is that?
Hey, everybody, welcome to Modern Deep people. This is kind of a
It's
serious
at
thing.
Mike's wake. You know what I'm saying? Mike's wake. He done passed away.
He was a good man.
Mike, what had happened was
Mike, Eddie finally
Hey.
lived up to the name. What had happened was my rara.
Hey, can I get that on a stone? Can I
know,
get
right?
that on a?
That's
Yeah,
not
that
who
would
do
be
you think
good.
is gonna
Yeah,
pay for the
yeah,
stone.
yeah.
Not his cheap ass family.
I swear to
I'm
God.
paying for the guy. His
I think
wife,
that would be good. I think that would
his
be good.
wife.
swear to
would-
I'm gonna sit at that grave ghost like
Listen,
he didn't even die.
you
right?
will be haunting him, right? Yeah.
No, I told him.
What
I
is he
told
gonna
him,
do to me?
I was like, if I die, he's gonna kill himself and tell me at the afterlife that I didn't die right. He's gonna be like, Mike, you weren't supposed to go like that, man.
What the
How you
hell?
gonna leave
How you
me?
gonna leave me in this life?
Wow.
Oh shit, that's so funny.
It's called being a good wife. All right, you know what? I think I'm gonna cut it right there. We've had too much fun. A little too much. You shouldn't have brought the box in, but I think we killed it. All right, man, Mike, where can they get a hold of us?
Yeah, you can get a hold of us at mod4up@gmail.com. You can hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you want to like, share, and comment. As far as listening, go ahead and hit us up on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube. So, man, hit us up, man.
Yeah,
Let us
we're
know.
fiending for some
Yes.
feedback, any and all, negative,
And I
positive.
just
We can
wanna
take it all, you know.
I just want to extend a big thank you to Coach here, for joining us on the
Thanks
show.
for having me, fellas.
Yeah,
it was
dude,
it was a pleasure and an honor.
Inspiration,
Dude.
Just from being little, young, adolescent.
We
now.
haven't even scratched the surface
this
with
is-
this
this
guy.
is-
Like all our guests, like we start to have such a good time, and then it's like, okay.
Well, I
guys.
tell
And
you
then Dominic
what,
cuts
I
us off.
would love to get an invitation to come back sometime.
Yeah,
that would be
yeah.
awesome.
It's
Yeah,
open
yeah.
invitation. Anybody that comes through and we have a good time, it's open invitation.
See,
Always
but,
an open
But Dominic
invitation.
always says open, but we have to actually extend that invitation because they ain't gonna just come over here.
You
So,
do, not me. That's not my job.
I'll hit you up, Coach. Let you know when you're back
Appreciate it,
on.
Mike.
And
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks, everybody. MOD4UP@gmail.com, iTunes,
Yes.
Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram, and now Snapchat and all that good stuff. Anywhere that's a
sir.
somewhere, you can hit us. Please, anybody subscribe, like, follow all day,
Share.
every day. Share,
Comment.
share. Comment anything besides Dominic. Thank you, Dominic. I love you. Deep rooted. Was it roots and rhythm?
Oh.
Roots and rhythm, something like that. There his new thing on Instagram.
Deep rooted.
Yeah, deep rooted in rhythm and root and rhythm. Rhythm and rude. One of the two. Just look it up. You'll find it. MOD4UP@gmail.com. At MOD4UP. Hashtag MOD4UP. Anything else, Mike?
Nope.
I didn't think so.
Peace out.
Shut up.